Hey everybody! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bow! This is Out of Continues episode 270. 270 coming at you right now. And this is a weekly podcast posted up every Monday in which we talk about video games related topics. Sometimes a little bit late. Sometimes it goes up earlier on youtube.com/outofcontinues as a video, but today it's not going up a little earlier. It's going up like minutes earlier. But weekly podcast on outofcontinues.com, video games and related topics. I'm your host, Stafa. And this week, I have Kaylee on here.
Hello.
How's it going, Kaylee?
Doing good.
That is amazing. So this week's episode's segments will include some news. That's basically it. We're going to just talk about some news, and we'll have some video game news, and we're going to have some non-video game news, just a few. And yeah, that's basically it. So before we get going, I want to quickly say that all opinions expressed on the show are of our own and not of our employers, whether past, present, or future, or ever. Does that cover everything? That covers at least 3 dimensions. So let's also cover space. And 4th dimensions and any other dimensions.
The entire multiverse is covered with this.
Yes. Any other version of Stafa is not representative of this version of Stafa or any other job or employer that I will have or have had or could have had.
Very glad you clarified. I was kind of confused there for a minute.
Anyways, let's get going. Let's talk about some video game news. So I'm gonna do some screen sharing here in a second as I get the window up and do that. That's impressive, isn't it? The fact that I got this screen shared. So anyways, let's talk about some video game news. There's a video game, Kaylee. Did you know that?
Video games?
Did you know that there was a video game?
What are video games?
Get off my show. Anyways, Phantom Dust. Have you heard of Phantom Dust?
I actually have not.
Because no one has heard of Phantom Dust.
Oh, great. I'm in the majority then.
Yes. There's only like dozens of us who have played this game. Dozens of us.
And there are literally tens of us.
Yes. There's tens of us who have played Phantom Dust. So it was a few E3s ago that Microsoft showed off like a Phantom Dust remake/reboot type thing. Let me rewind further. Phantom Dust is a game that came out on the original Xbox. All right, it was like a $20 game, bargain bin game, but it was a Xbox exclusive. It looked amazing, especially for a game that was only $20. It's a mix between like action and like Magic the Gathering card-based gameplay a little bit. It's really hard to describe because there's no other game like it. But it was really awesome. It was amazing. It had destructible environments, which is not something that you saw ever in on the original Xbox. And it was just a really awesome game. And then a few years ago, I can't remember when it was, during one of the E3s, they showed off. Microsoft showed off this trailer for a new Phantom Dust game, which they said it was going to be like a reboot or like a retelling of the original game. So it wasn't a sequel. It was more like, hey, we're gonna take Phantom Dust and like keep all the good elements of the game, but change it up a little bit so that it's easier for people to get into. Because like it takes like a good hour or so before you actually get into the game. And yeah, they wanted to make it more accessible. And that disappeared. The studio that was developing it, they got shut down, and Phil Spencer's like, oh, we're still working on this, kind of. And yeah, now Phil Spencer is posting on the Twitters a screenshot of Phantom Dust, and it's running at 30 frames per second, so it's not on the what's it called, the Scorpio, the Xbox One Scorpio, whatever the heck it is, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang.
I'm also assuming this isn't the PC screenshot either.
Yeah, it's the Xbox Shang Tsung. Anyways, so yeah, he said this is on the regular Xbox One, and he also said that it is a re-release of the game, and he said it should be out sometime before E3 this year, and E3 is in June, so it could come out anytime between then and June,
which probably means June 12th. I did like, though, in this article they were saying that they're releasing it as an Xbox Play Anywhere title,
mm-hmm.
and which means that you only pay for it once, and you can play it on both your PC or your Xbox One,
mm-hmm.
which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah,
because there's no point in buying the same game for two different systems.
Is Gears 4 Xbox Play Anywhere title?
I don't know.
Because I have Gears 4 on PC. Master Race.
Tell us where your allegiance lies there, Safa.
So yeah, anyways. Yeah. So it turns out that I don't know, I suppose that they're not making like a retelling of the original game. It seems like they're just, hey, let's up-res the game and re-release it instead. And it does say that they changed a few of the game, like the multiplayer elements, so that let me see. Oh, Control F, multiplayer. All right, so Xbox Live support for multiplayer. That's basically all that they changed, I suppose. So it's kind of unfortunate that they aren't doing the big remake of the game that they originally announced. But at the same time, it's awesome that this is going to be out again, because Phantom Dust is an amazing game, and I can't wait to play it again for the first time.
Along with a handful of other people.
No, I've played through the game. I beat it. It was really long and awesome. So anyways, you probably don't have much to add on this because
I do not know about the original game.
Are you excited about playing it for the first time?
I'm interested to know what a hybrid of card games and shooters entails exactly.
Awesomeness?
Maybe. That's a very weird mishmash of genres there.
Yeah, it is. It is super weird. And like the battles are very anime-ish, because you could do stuff like super jumps and shoot like energy projectiles at each other. It's actually really cool. Like, it looks great, and the gameplay is very fluid, but it's just very hard to describe the fact that this is an action-oriented game that uses, a rule set that's similar to Magic the Gathering. So I don't know. I mean, I can
feel like
sit
that's one
here.
of those things I need to see.
Yeah, you need to see it, or even better, play it.
I
Because
may just get the game just to find out now.
if I sit here and like explain it to you using nothing but my mouth, no visuals.
I feel like I still won't understand it.
Yeah, you definitely won't understand it. But it is an awesome game. And yeah, I totally recommend checking it out. It probably still stands up really well even after 13 years. Yeah.
Are you dating yourself there, Staffa?
I date everybody.
Not very exclusive, huh?
Is that the right answer? All right, let's move on. Speaking of dating, Peter Molyneux.
How is that an appropriate segue?
I don't know. You're asking hard questions.
I'm sorry. I'll stop the commentary. Go on.
So, Peter Molyneux, he's talking about his next game. So, first of all, I didn't even know he was done with his last game. He worked on Goddess. That's Godus, not Goddes.
S.
S. Yes. Yeah, so it's either way, God Us. He didn't even finish that. And then he released God Us Wars, which let's get this up on Steam. Let's see. God Us Wars. Is this even out of? It is still in early access. I knew it. I knew I wasn't making stuff up. It's not even out. This game is still in early access. He's selling it for $15. What does the regular Goddess say? You can't even buy it. You pulled it. Oh, it just goes to Goddess Wars.
I also see the user reviews there being very much in the red.
Yeah. 5,000 reviews, mostly negative.
So when he says his next game is going to be very different, does that mean good?
So, sure. So
I just don't know
Wars,
what kind of scale.
I don't even know what's really the difference between Goddess and Goddess Wars. In fact, when I heard Goddess Wars, I thought it implied that there's going to be multiplayer because it has the word wars in there. But no, it doesn't. It still doesn't have multiplayer. It's still single player. But either way, so he released God Us Wars, which still in early access, not even out yet, and he's not even gonna release that because he's already working on his next game, which is called Legacy. He says, "I've been working on this game called Legacy, and I can rather like the first game I really did, which was called Populous. Just try an idea." Let me try this in the Peter Molyneux voice. "I've been working on this game called Legacy, and I can rather like the first game I really did, which was called Populous. Just try an idea and see if it works. I was in a hotel this morning. I was having breakfast. I was coding Legacy, and I had an idea. Within an hour, I was actually playing the thing."
This is like the weirdest interview ever.
So he won't say what exactly is Legacy. He just says it's something different than his other games, and he refuses to say anything because even though he's known for hyping his games, it would be a mistake for him to talk about it.
So,
You
so
know,
do you think, based on his line that he was in a hotel this morning and having breakfast and coding the game, and then within an hour he was actually playing the thing, does that mean like he just started on it that morning and did an hour worth of coding and was like, "Oh, here's a game now"?
yeah, it sounds like he just game jammed it. He like made a mock-up and was like, "Oh, it is playable within an hour. This idea is brilliant. You could reach out and touch the game."
He had a stick figure that could move. There's a game now.
Touching the game.
So I'm sure all your listeners are super excited for this game now.
Yeah, of course. But I don't know. Like, there's really nothing to say about the new game because of the fact that he won't say anything about it other than he did it within an hour in his hotel room. But my main thing that I want to, point out is that he's not even finishing his project that I'm pretty sure he had like did he kickstart that game? Let me see. Got us Kickstarter. Yeah, he totally kickstarted that game. So yeah, despite him kickstarting Goddess, he did not finish it, and then he releases Goddess Wars and won't even finish that either. I don't know. I don't want to just talk smack about Peter Molyneux, but he needs to really commit to his projects. So not only is he gaining the reputation, or has he gained the reputation of overhyping his projects, now he's starting to become the guy who not only overhypes his projects but doesn't even finish them and works an hour within his hotel room.
Maybe he worked for longer than that. We don't know. Maybe he worked for 2 hours. It was just within an hour he was playing the game.
Or maybe it's just like playing Civilization, where you think an hour passed by, but it was actually an entire day.
Yeah, see? I don't know.
You're right. You're right.
Maybe he crossed like time zones or something,
I shouldn't assume. Even though he clearly says an hour.
I don't know. This article seems like I don't even know. There's no news in this article. There's no like information. Like the guy's like, "Oh, I'm making a new game," but I mean, I could make an article if somebody would interview me and go, "Oh yeah, I'm making this great new game," but I won't tell you anything about it. It's just better.
But you're not Peter Molyneux.
Different.
That's the thing.
I know. I should change my name. Does that work that way? Can I just get a name change?
But you still didn't. You're not famous for making games. That's the thing.
I'm sorry that your criteria is so high.
Oh. Well, you know what? I gotta have standards. Anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about another video game, Agents of Mayhem. So are you familiar with the Saints Row games?
What games?
Saints Row.
Yes. Yes, I may have heard about Saints Row at some point in time in my life.
Have you played the Saints Row games?
About as much as I've played a GTA game.
So is that a lot?
um, uh, a little.
Okay, so I take it you don't have much experience with these games.
I know enough about the genres.
I know your brother played a lot of Saints Row. I
Yeah,
saw
my
him.
brother and his girlfriend love Saints Row.
Yeah, that game. All right, so Saints Row started off as basically a GTA knockoff. There's no GTA game on the Xbox 360, and Saints Row came in to fill that void. And then Saints Row 2 came out, and it kind of started getting wacky. And then Saints Row 3 came out, and it was definitely wacky. And then 4 came out, and you're like literally flying around the place like a one of the gliding squirrels.
It entered the realm of absurdity.
Yep, yeah. And Agents of Mayhem, which is being developed by the developer of Saints Row, is basically like, yeah, I guess taking it to the next level with the craziness. You play as 3 dudes at once, or you play as one person and you can swap between 3 of them. You select, I guess you select between 3 different people when you enter a mission or something, and you can instantly swap between these 3 people. And yeah, so they put out the trailer for the game this past week and announced that the game will be released this year on August 15th.
Ooh,
Are you hyped?
totally hyped.
I don't think so.
I don't. I'm. Is it multi? Is it going to be multiplayer or just
No,
single player?
it is single player.
Single player.
Yes.
I'd be more hyped if it was multiplayer.
I think you'd also be more hyped if you played the Saints Row games.
Sure.
Are you disagreeing with me?
Yes.
Why is that? So you think you could be hyped for this game without knowing the developer's previous work, even though this game seems very similar to their previous work?
Yes.
Okay. Also, this article points out that in the trailer, the trailer leans onto A-Team and Knight Rider vibes very heavily, mainly because it has like the A-Team theme song playing throughout the entire thing. I'm really not sure why they are, leaning heavily on those themes. Like there's nothing that really seemed A-Team about the entire thing, other than them
Obviously, it
having
is
A-Team
a
music.
team.
What's that?
There is a team.
Oh, you get to play as a team.
Exactly.
You get to play as a team.
Totally works.
And supposedly, like, the whole theme of this is bad versus evil. So you play as bad folks killing evil folks. I don't know. That don't make sense.
See, I feel like it could be a humorous theme, though, that would make me want to play it more than the Saints Row games, which, especially with the earlier Saints Rows, definitely just kind of was like a GTA.
Yeah, but it left that
Yeah, but that was like the
a long
first.
time ago.
That was like my opinion of it, and then I just, it just everything with the Saints Row title carried it over.
I think you're being prejudiced.
I probably am, yeah. But see,
back,
this one has a new name, so see, it's a new start.
Back where I come from, we call that player hating. Anyways, let's move on. Ready to move on?
Ready to move on.
All right. Let's talk about the Spider-Mans. Spider-Man for PS4, which is being developed by Insomniac, which is kind of crazy considering that Insomniac is known for games with like guns and weapons and stuff. You know, like the Ratchet and Clank
Spider-Man
series.
has a weapon.
No, you don't.
His little web shooter hand.
That don't count.
Why not?
Cause it's not like pew, 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 or like
He can disarm and detain bad guys, therefore weapon.
That's the opposite of a weapon. If you disarm people, that would be like the opposite of a weapon.
You know, you can disarm people with batons. Things. I don't know. Weapons. You hit them hard enough, you can disarm them.
Is that what makes it a weapon, though?
Yes.
The fact that it can disarm people?
Yes.
I think this is a philosophical question that we should explore further. At a different time.
A weapon.
So, anyways, Marvel, like during, I think this is a Reddit stream or something, a live stream that was captured by a Reddit user, some Marvel representative let it slip that this game is coming out 2017, and also mentioned that the Marvel's Capcom, what's it, 4? Yeah, Marvel's Capcom 4 is supposed to come out this year as well, even though that game is not PlayStation 4 exclusive. And then Insomniac later was like, no release time frame has been announced. So
they're trying to save themselves there.
Yeah. What is it? Is there no announced release date? Or did the guy actually just slip up and
maybe 2017 is like a target release date, but like most companies nowadays, it's literally only a target. And probably won't be released until 2018.
You know, these days target release dates are more definitive because they're like, well, if the game is not even done, it's very buggy and the faces disappear or the animations are crazy, let's go ahead and push this out right now anyways. Let's do this. So
are you thinking of like EA specifically there, or
I'm not saying anything or pointing fingers.
No names.
No fingers being pointed at all. EA.
No fingers.
Ubisoft. I'm not pointing any fingers. Anyways, so yeah, I think it's coming out 2017. Until they prove us wrong, it's coming out this year.
So I'm more curious. Has there ever been a really good Spider-Man game?
Yes.
What?
Spider-Man the movie 2. For PS2.
Spider-Man the movie?
Yeah.
2?
Spider-Man the movie game 2. Yeah.
Spider-Man 2?
Yeah. Published by Activision, developed by Treyarch. And yeah. It actually had
picture there, PC CD-ROM.
Yeah, it was even had like the voices are voiced by the actors from the movie. It was a good one. It was a really good game. In fact, some might argue it's one of the best comic book movie to video game adaptation.
I could probably believe that. Yep.
So yes, there we go. I answered your question.
All right. Well,
I heard Web of Shadows is also good. Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Was it that one? No, I don't think it was that one. I think it was Shattered Dimensions. Shattered Dimensions. Yes. Hey, look at that. That's a pretty
Maybe the
good
better question
Metacritic.
I should have asked is how many Spider-Man games have there been?
How many Spider games are
Are
there?
there? Look, see, other people want to know.
Okay.
Way too many. Can we go with that one?
Yes.
Too many games.
Too many
They were making it as far
dollars.
back as the Atari. Atari 2600 had one on there.
All right. Anyways,
I'm sorry. I got
this
distracted.
this game's
I'm
looking
so
good,
excited.
and it'll likely come out this year.
We'll see. Should we make a bet out of it? And I'll bet 2018.
You know what? I probably would, but it's against my religion to gamble.
Gotcha. Well, now I have it recorded though. I'm going with 2018.
Anyways, you know what we don't have to wait until 2018 to get?
What?
You want to take a guess?
Is it the next news article?
Streamhost.
Well, I was wrong at that one.
DreamHost, they're a web service that offers unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth, user-friendly interface, all that just for $7.95 US a month. And there you could use WordPress on there, which is really easy to use and set up. And it gets better than that. If you use the promo code Out of Continues, it's one word, no spaces, away the setup fee and gets you a free domain registration. Whoa! I just blew my own mind right there.
Woo!
I'm not even believing it. That's how unbelievable it is. You don't have to wait till 2018 for it either. It's available right now. In the current time of 2017. So even if you're like listening to this podcast in the future, you don't have to wait any further. Or if you're listening to this podcast in the past, then that's pretty awesome. I don't know how you did it.
Then you're a time traveler and you probably already have a domain. No,
There
you
we
should
go.
buy a domain.
Exactly. Use the promo code Av Continues, and bam, let's move on. Oh, quick announcements. Two quick announcements. First of all, we can use iTunes reviews. If you want to help out the podcast, you can really help us out by leaving a iTunes review. It's one of the single most helpful things you can do for the show. If you can't leave an iTunes review for whatever reason, you can still help out the show by using social media to spread the word of the podcast. So, share the podcast on Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you want to use. Tell a friend. Tell someone you don't like. Just tell your grandma. And yeah, we really help out the podcast if you do that. But second announcement I got is that next month, which is the month of May, will be 2017's game design month for Ada Continues. I know it's usually April in which I do game design month, but this year I was really busy with the move and everything. Still was getting things settled, and I completely forgot that April was supposed to be game design month, so I didn't start it last week. It should have been last week, but since I'm already late, I might as well push it over in another month. So next month, game design month. Every week we'll have a game design related topic. That's nuts, right?
Ooh.
Question mark. Who knows? Maybe I can get a professional game designer on here to talk game design as well. Maybe. No promises. So let's move on. You ready to move on?
Ready.
So this past week, Activision had a couple of some pretty bizarre announcements regarding Call of Duty. The first one being that they're having King, known for Candy Crush. King is now going to be making a Call of Duty mobile game. It's breaking new ground. Our challenge as a team is to create a Call of Duty experience on mobile that will strive to transform the best console experience fans know and love while breaking new ground for mobile and redefining the genre. What does this even mean?
It's some very big words there. Big shoes to fill.
Our approach and ambition is to be fresh, social, and highly accessible while providing a very authentic game experience. The team will prototype extensively, have the freedom to think outside the box, and be encouraged to stretch their expertise in ways to create surpassing results. We're a lean pack of developers, designers, and artists with a shared goal and shared understanding of what we're striving to build: a transformative and awesome Call of Duty experience on mobile that fans will want to play for years. Transformative. What does that even mean? So they use words like authentic, authentic to the Call of Duty series. And like, my first thought, considering that they want to be authentic to the series, is that they want to make like a I can't remember the name of the game. Duty rip off Game Loft. So there's a game made by Gameloft.
You're gonna click on the Urban Dictionary link.
I can't remember what it's called. Modern Combat 4. And there's no Modern Combat 1 through 3. So Modern Combat 4 by Gameloft is, basically a mobile game that's trying to be Call of Duty. And that's my first thought when I think of, hey, we're going to bring an authentic experience to mobile with Call of Duty. But at the same time, King has been making 2D games, 2D puzzle games, and that's what they're really good at, making 2D puzzle games that makes money. So, are they going to keep Call of Duty's M-rated themes? I mean, it's Call of Duty. It has guns, so I assume so, right? Maybe?
I mean, they say authentic in there, don't they?
Yeah. So, I mean, they're not making something for your mom to play on her spare time. Or my mom. My mom loves Candy Crush. But she's probably not going to play Call of Duty Modern Combat 4 by Gameloft. No. But either way, do you have any speculation on what this is going to be?
I think it's going to be Call of Duty Run, like Mario Run.
That's an idea.
I just a mobile Call of Duty game just doesn't seem and using the word authentic. It seems not possible. Like,
what's an antonym to authentic?
not authentic.
Nailed it.
Fake. I kind of envision I definitely envision at least some Candy Crush mini games in the game. Just maybe with like soldier heads or something instead of colorful candy. So it'll be like little face icons.
Well, it could be zombie heads.
Yeah, it could. Well, they didn't say Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I don't know. I feel like there's some. Not that I think that Call of Duty is like the most intensive shooter game ever, but I do feel like you need more than thumbs. I mean, I guess you could kind of use your thumbs, but like like controls on a touch screen not translating into first person shooter for me.
Yeah, I can't see this being a multiplayer experience as far as like trying to shoot other people. Like what King is good at doing, they're good at making single player experiences where you play for like 5 minutes at a time at most, and adding social media aspects to have you constantly share with your friends to try to get more turns or try to like brag about your high score, things like that. So yeah, with that said, I don't see this being something in which you're trying to shoot other players. I don't see this as like a single player campaign either. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be something puzzle oriented. That's my guess. And yeah, to say the least, this has me intrigued as to wanting to know what the heck are they doing. That's what I want to know. I want to understand. How do you make this an authentic Call of Duty experience and also transformative to the mobile space? Give me the answers.
I don't have answers. It confuses me.
All
You'll
right.
just have to wait. You'll have to
I
wait
will.
until 2018 plus years or
Yep.
greater.
And see if Spider-Man comes out in 2018. All right, let's move on.
More Call of Duty.
Yeah, more Call of Duty. So, Call of Duty movie universe to draw from Black Ops and Modern Warfare. So, last week, Activision announced that they want to make like their own MCU style, Marvel extended film universe for the Call of Duty series, which is kind of a weird choice to make your like big movie franchise out of. I mean, I would have expected, if anything, Activision wants to like plan like a huge movie universe out of, it would be World of Warcraft, right? Either that or the Skylanders. Which, I mean, there is the Skylanders Netflix series. And there's also that one Warcraft movie.
I was thinking of that movie.
Yeah. Though that movie is Warcraft. It's not World of Warcraft.
I do know that.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, they want to make like they want to make like an extended movie universe with Call of Duty. They want to start it off based on the Black Ops series, and then maybe later make it based on the Modern Warfare series. So, just my opinion here. is that it seems that like a lot of these video game movies are more controlled by Hollywood than they are by the actual publishers or anything. I mean, they're definitely not controlled by the game developers because the game developers are too busy working on their own games. So, with that in mind, I think Hollywood will just basically, make generic war movies and call it Call of Duty. And there'll be like a guy named Mason.
That sounds about right. That's exactly what I envisioned in my head when I saw this article. Like, which definitely will go very low on my need to watch list.
So yeah, that's basically all I have on this. You wanna add anything?
I think I pretty much agree. Like all I can really see is a bad war movie out of this. I mean, maybe it'll be good and they'll have like character development or real storyline, but I'm not hopeful.
The one thing that gives this a little bit of hope is that last year Activision announced the co-presidents of in-house production team Activision Blizzard Studios, or Stacy Sher and Nick Van Dyke. And like these two people are basically they were basically brought on to Activision to, like, I guess, oversee the TV and movie projects that Activision wants to work on. Like, for example, the Skylanders that came out on Netflix, which I haven't watched that myself, but from what I understand, kids liked it, I think. I don't know. But either way, so, considering that they have a couple of people to like oversee these projects, it might give it a little bit of hope, but I am the opposite of optimistic. Authentic. Is that the right word? Pessimistic. I'm setting my expectations low for this one.
Well, see, if you set them really low, then you can't be disappointed, right?
Yep.
Just set your expectations to 0, and anything is better than that.
Well, it's also kind of disappointing that this is going to be based on Black Ops and not on Infinite Warfare, because now we can't have Jon Snow. I wanted to see Jon Snow in the movie, and he'd be like, "The King of the Space."
Would that have saved it for you? Would that have made it a good movie?
You know what? I would have been like, okay, you did it, movie. You at least did one thing right.
I see where your expectations are.
All right, ready to move on?
Let's go.
All right, let's kind of move away from video games, but we're still talking about movies. Let's talk about a little bit of comics now. So there's a comic I used to read. I stopped reading it a few years ago, mainly because I just stopped reading comics. I stopped keeping up with them because they're expensive and hard to keep up with. But there's a comic called Invincible. Have you heard of this comic?
I don't know if I've heard. I definitely haven't read it. Not quite sure if I've heard of it either.
So Invincible, which is written by Robert Kirkman. Do you know who this person is? Walking Dead.
Yes, I knew that was in the article.
So Robert Kirkman, who is the writer of Walking Dead, he is also the writer of Invincible. And to give a quick synopsis of Invincible. Invincible is a superhero who is the son of the world, like Earth's greatest superhero. So like basically the beginning of the comic starts off as like a parody of Superman. Like Invincible's dad is basically Superman except with a mustache. Like everything about him was Superman. You know, the fact that he had almost all of Superman's powers except for, you know, like he didn't have heightened senses. He didn't have like, you know, X-ray vision or stuff like that. But you know, he had the super speed, super strength, flight, invulnerability. Um, so and he had a mustache, so that made up for the other abilities that Superman has. So so I think what is his name? I think it was Ultraman or something like that. Either way, so he is Earth's greatest hero, and I can't remember the Invincible's real life name, but he eventually finds out that his dad is this superhero, and he eventually starts gaining his powers because he's, you know, became a teenager and his powers started kicking in. And yeah, at that point, it's no longer really a parody of Superman. At that point, it kind of becomes its own thing from there because it's revealed that uh, I think his name's Ultraman. I can't remember, but Ultraman's origin isn't as innocent as Superman's. Like he's basically more like Goku. He's sent to Earth to destroy the world, but he just kind of fell in love with his wife and decided not to. So like the rest of their race were like, "Oh no, you can't do this. We still got to destroy this planet." So then they start coming in and, you know, cause trouble. So yeah, either way, I really liked Invincible. I read up to like, I don't know, issue 100 and something. I think 110. I can't remember. And now Robert Kirkman is working on a movie for Invincible. So I just want to share that mainly because like I liked reading Invincible. I am keeping my expectations low on this because The Walking Dead has lots of lows. I, I would argue it has more lows than it has highs. I'm talking about the TV series. Yeah, the Walking Dead TV series has more lows than it has highs. I will say that right here on Out It Continues.
And I will not disagree because as much as I love zombies and I really like zombies, I that is one show that I cannot keep watching.
Yeah, you love zombies so much you married a zombie.
Yeah, I had a brain wedding cake. And zombie wedding cake, and I do not like The Walking Dead all the time. That's because it's more The Walking Dead turns more like the zombies are like a little tiny side story half the time. And it's like people drama. It's like a soap opera.
Yeah.
I mean, people drama is kind of good, but
I don't know. I'd say it has more issues than just that.
yeah,
Just
I get caught up with the soap opera bit, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, like there's just so many times where it's like, why did they do this, or why didn't this person say anything? Now a bunch of people are dead because this person was saying nothing for no reason at all. Or, you know, just really dumb things. I don't know. Like there's just so much stupid things that happens with that show. It's frustrating to watch at times, and I realized that it was like an abusive relationship. That even though I liked The Walking Dead, it was being, you know, it was being like the abusive, um, yeah, abusive boyfriend with the wife beater shirt.
Yeah, with this I don't know with this movie. They also say that Seth Rogen's involved in it, and I've actually been watching this. I just started that AMC series, Preacher, that
Yeah.
they reference in this article. I just started watching it like Sunday, and I just don't know that I really like Seth Rogen's writing. he
Mm.
it's like that there's a story there, but it doesn't come across the whole way, and you're kind of I don't know.
Are
I
you
feel
are you
like
hating on him just because he's a pothead? Is that what you're trying to say?
no, no, no. I don't know if it's related or not. I just think he should stick to, like the outlandishly funny things and maybe, things that don't need character development or stories or
Seth Rogen also worked on that Green Hornet movie. He was the star of it, but I can't remember if he directed it or not. And from what I remember, I didn't watch that movie, but from what I remember, it didn't really get good reviews.
yeah, I don't know. It's hard to like it's kind of I feel like there's things missing. Like there's just plot and writing and like character development that's just missing from especially that Preacher TV show. So
Mm.
I'm not I'm a little skeptical.
I
See, I sound like
I
such
would
a cynic on your podcast. Yeah, you shouldn't invite me on.
too late. Yeah, like I would like for this to be a good movie because if it's a good movie, then that would attract more people to check out the comic, which is a good comic. Oh, one thing. What was it like? Invincible, Walking Dead, Dream ending. Let me see if I could find that. So on one of the end of the Invincible comics, um, Rick wakes up and he is like a cyborg, and like the entire Walking Dead thing was a dream, and like all of it was in the future. I I don't know. I can't find it. Well, Walking Dead, Rick, Cyborg. Oh well, can't find it on this image search. But either way, like it's not canon to. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here's part. Oh, thank you for giving me this tiny image for ants.
I can totally tell what's going on there.
Yeah, exactly. Um. Okay, here's a bigger image, kind of. So like they're all like superheroes and cyborgs and stuff. Like that's Michonne with her like lightsaber. I think that's Tyrese with the crazy big gauntlet fists. Rick over there because in the comic Rick gets his hand cut off. In here he's like a superhero with a cyborg hand. And that's the governor over there with like a claw hand and a evil supervillain cape. So it was kind of humorous seeing that like dream ending, but in no way is it supposed to be taken as like part of the um, Walking Dead canon. But yeah, Invincible. Move on. So, Kaylee,
Yes.
are you familiar with the Marvel Netflix series like Daredevil, Jessica Jones?
I watched Jessica Jones
Did
and
you watch
some of
Daredevil?
Daredevil.
Did you
I feel like I
watch
watched some.
Did you watch Luke Cage?
Some. I watched all of Jessica Jones.
I like the fact that in this GameSpot article they write like Cage instead of
I know,
Luke
I saw that
Cage.
too. Autocorrect can't find that.
So, anyways, they released a little teaser for the Defenders, and it's coming out April 18th. Sorry, August 18th. April Fools. It's coming out August 18th.
Nice play there.
Yo,
Ignores
I
like
was
not
I
the
was
first.
smooth.
Yeah, Defenders. Woo.
Yeah, I like the Marvel Netflix series Sans Iron Fist. I did not finish watching Iron Fist. I got like 6 episodes in, and I was like, this reminds me way too much of the bad elements of Arrow.
Well, it seems like you are not in the minority.
But also, I still I'm very excited for the Defenders. I think what happened is they rushed out Iron Fist just so that they can like work on the Defenders. I think that's what happened.
I don't know. The Defenders could be cool though.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Why doesn't Iron Fist have his mask?
Because it makes him look cooler.
No, the mask makes him look cooler. Him having like a just nothing, just looking like a white dude. That's how does white dude look cooler than a martial artist with mask? With the Zorro mask. I'm looking forward to this.
I would say he has to be subtle because he's in an elevator, but that guy beside him doesn't look very subtle. So
Daredevil?
yeah.
Well, I mean, also like Danny Rand, the character, is a billionaire, and he was on TV. Why the heck won't he wear a mask to conceal his identity? Instead, he's just going around, I am the Iron Fist. Okay. Good job, bro. I am a human weapon. Oh, are you? How come all your fight scenes suck? Oh, yeah. August 18th. Can't get here soon enough.
Woo!
Moving on.
Let's go.
Did you see the Thor teaser trailer that dropped earlier today?
I did.
What was your thoughts?
It looked like I had stepped back in time to like the 80s with that logo.
I really like this trailer. Or this teaser trailer. So it's not even like a full trailer.
It was kind of long for a teaser.
Yes. Yeah, like nowadays a teaser trailer is like dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
like 10 seconds.
and then like it shows like the corner of the logo dun, 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 and then like zooms out and you see the whole logo, and then like boom, and then like the light turns on and then you can see the whole logo, and that's it. That's the teaser.
I enjoyed the play-by-play.
This one was like a mini trailer. I mean, like you might as well just call it a trailer because that's what it was. It was just a shorter trailer, and this is like everything that Justice League trailer wasn't. It was colorful.
Was it because it was brightly lit?
Yes,
and you liked the logo, didn't you? You liked that kind of like a almost Tron vibe logo.
Like a lot of stuff happened. It looked like there's gonna be plot progression, character progression. Like they were in a bunch of different places, and like it gave me the impression that the movie's gonna be like 3 hours long and like nonstop pacing. That's the impression I got. There was so much stuff happening. Also, it looked, there was some humor in it, and it really
I
worked.
did laugh. I did laugh at the end bit of the trailer.
At the end, when Hulk comes out
Yeah.
dressed up like a gladiator, which is clearly supposed to be from Planet Hulk.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. It was very Planet Hulky.
Yes, it is clearly Planet Hulk. And I was like, yes! And then Thor says, yes!
Yeah,
I thought he was breaking the fourth wall at that point.
I laughed. I laughed pretty hard. I also I did enjoy him coming out with his little helmet on too. I thought that was a nice little touch. His little
Yes.
Thor helmet.
Like, it looks like a lot of stuff is happening in this trailer, and I'm very excited for this. Also, like, some people are comparing like the whole 80s vibe to like, oh, they're just trying to copy off of like what Guardians of the Galaxy did. I was talking to a coworker today, and he said that he thinks the whole 80s thing is supposed to be homage to Walt Simmons, who is one of the late artists and writers for Thor, and he's known for one of Thor's most popular comic runs, which was in the 80s. So that's what my coworker says. Walt Simonson. Walt Simonson. So yeah, or I guess he's still alive. I don't know. Either way. So Walt Simonson, who is most known for his Thor run, and I mean, like, just looking at this, it looks like it's very heavily inspired by. Oh, why am I having a brain fart? The comic dude.
you have to be a little bit more specific.
The one dude who.
The comic dude, that
Yeah.
one guy that worked on comics at one time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yep. Yeah, that well, yeah, exactly. That one dude who Jack Kirby. Yes.
Okay.
So it looks very like Jack Kirby inspired with like the crazy colors and a lot of people. Like, do you see that? Like, I don't know what you want to call that black dots in the background, the whole space thing. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. Or it's not letting me zoom in. There we go. Do you see those black dots?
I see black dots.
Okay. So
I see very big black dots now.
So that is known as, in the comic world, is known as the Kirby Crackle. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, let me pull up a picture of that. So yeah, here's the Kirby Crackle, which Jack Kirby was known for doing. That's how Jack Kirby drew outer space. The Kirby Crackle, and you can see the Kirby Crackle in Walt Simonson's art. So it looks very, Jack Kirby inspired, colorful, crazy looking. And, it was back in the 80s when he did the Thor run. So, my coworker said, yeah, that's probably, yeah, you can even see those dots there too. Yeah. On the trailer. You see those Kirby Crackle dots?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think he's probably right that this is supposed to be inspired by Walt Simonson. But either way, like, it was a really good teaser trailer. Had a lot of humor in it. It looks like a lot of stuff is going to happen, unlike the previous Thor movie, which, like, nothing happened in that. Like, the only thing that happened was that, like, Loki kind of became a not so evil guy. That was basically it. but I'm really looking forward to this. How about you?
Yeah, I think it could be exciting.
You think it could be exciting? Who are you? Get out of my face!
Yeah, I'll probably watch it. I don't know. Like I read some of the Ragnarok series, like
Hmm.
back when it came out as a comic,
Hmm.
and I don't know if I saw, like I didn't read all the Ragnarok series, but I feel like I had a different impression of Ragnarok than what this trailer may convey. And I don't know. I just, I don't know how comic story related it is versus, just kind of mishmash, you know,
I mean, they're
whatever the new
obviously
story
like
is.
mashing in the
Yeah,
whole
like Planet Hulk
Planet Hulk
all of a sudden
storyline.
on Earth or on in Asgard, maybe.
Well, I mean, like in the beginning of the trailer, Asgard gets destroyed. So I wonder if they're going to be on Planet Sakaar.
Yeah, like Thor just gets transported there.
I mean, well, not, I mean, I don't think about transporting. I mean, or yeah, I guess that would be the correct word, transporting him over there. I was thinking teleporting, but
I mean,
yeah,
they could teleport him too. I mean, they have the technology.
yeah, but I guess transport would be the correct word. But yeah, they bring him over to Planet Sakaar. How did Hulk get there? Uh, Definitely not going to be the same as the original Planet Hulk storyline, which was the Illuminati, which is a group made up of like Tony Stark, Black Bolt, Mr. Fantastic, Doctor Strange, and Professor Xavier, and I think also Namor, the Submariner.
Hmm.
It's basically those, very either extremely smart or extremely powerful group of people, or I guess both, smart and powerful. They all decided we gotta get rid of Hulk. Let's send him to outer space. I don't think it's gonna be that.
Yeah, I don't think so because it would probably involve too much backstory.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely too much backstory. Plus, most of those characters aren't even in the MCU. Like Professor Xavier and Mr. Fantastic and Black Bolt hasn't even been he hasn't been introduced yet. So
Yeah, so I kind of like it, but I kind of get hung up on story a little too.
mhm. I wonder if they're gonna like introduce Beta Ray Bill since they're going around in outer space, or if it's just gonna be focusing on Thor, Hulk, and Doctor Strange.
I don't
Either
know.
way,
I mean, they like
either
their
way.
little cameos, so
Jeff
maybe.
Goldblum.
I saw that. I meant to bring that up.
What's your thoughts on Jeff Goldblum?
I can't picture him in anything else except like Jurassic Park.
Life
Like
finds a way.
like that's all I see every time. I don't even care how well he plays a role. That is all he will ever be to me. Is like the pessimistic guy from Jurassic Park.
Was he pessimistic?
I feel like he
I
was always pessimistic.
I just remember him having his shirt off.
I don't even remember that.
Like he had his shirt like at that time, like Jeff Goldblum was working out a lot because like he did like The Fly a little bit before that. So he's like, okay, since I worked out this much, I'm gonna be shirtless in as many movies as possible just to show off that I worked out to get to this point.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
All I remember is him just he was always the one going, all the dinosaurs are gonna kill us. Why would you have dinosaurs? They're all just gonna kill us. And he
yeah,
was
you're
very
right.
negative,
You're right.
very pessimistic.
Yes, I agree with you. And shirtless.
Pessimistic and shirtless. All right, we'll go with that.
Yep. All right. So, anyways, that's all I got as far as news. All right, we made it to about an hour on the podcast recording. That's cool. So let's wrap things up. Listener feedback. We don't have any listener feedback this week, but if you want to write into the podcast, you can write in. That's a podcast at outofcontinues.com. And yeah, why are you highlighting all that stuff, Kaylee?
Why are you talking to the listeners about the behind the magic stuff?
I was wondering if you're like trying to send a message to me.
No, I got distracted.
I didn't know if you were sending me a message, if you were trying to like communicate something to me.
It's like SOS.
If you enjoy what you've been hearing, you can support us by liking us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter, leave an iTunes review. You can subscribe to Google Play Music. You can contact us by email. That's podcast@outofcontinues.com. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/outofcontinues. All those things I just mentioned, they're on the website. That's www.outofcontinues.com. You can give me a tweet. I'm at Sayedstafa. That's at SAYEDSTAFA. Kaylee doesn't have a Twitter, but if you want to contact her, just give her the tweeting call.
I am known to respond to that.
Yeah, that's the secret call. Just give her a loud one, and she'll like.
I'll just swoop in wherever you are.
There you go. I'd like to thank my guest host for joining me today, Kaylee.
Glad to be here.
Thank you very much. Are you going to check out Phantom Dust?
Sure. I sound so confident, right?
I don't think you're going to do it.
I might, if I remember.
With that said, I'm your host, Stafa. I'll see you guys next week on episode 271.